I can't believe how quickly October has gone past us, and it's already time to do my September update, isn't it, Gracie? So in September, the kids obviously go back to school. I had some fun activities planned for myself for September because it felt like the whole of the summer was mostly about the kids. So, and I wasn't the only one, some of the other mums were feeling the same. So the mums from my son's year group, I had a night out with them. And then the following weekend, the mums from my daughter's year group, I had a night out with some of them. And it was really good fun. It was good to get out and let my hair down and do something for myself. So that was one of the highlights of September, sort of like personal care thing. I also had a Friday, because the kids were at school, when me and my husband's time off matched together and we were able to get out, just the two of us. We went into Woodbridge for our day date, although he doesn't like me calling it a date, but it was just us two spending quality time together. We went got some cocktails at this one bar. We went into town, we had a browse through the shops. We went to this lovely bookshop in Woodbridge that's trying to start up a reading challenge for young people. So if you are in the Woodbridge area, I'd go check it out. So basically she's charging £8 for a book that usually costs $7.99, so it's only 1p more. And then with that extra penny, you get to be in the book club, and they meet at a cafe that's just a few doors down from where the bookshop is, and she treats all the children there to hot chocolate. So I think the first meetup is in November, but the best way to find out more details would be to visit Woodbridge Bookshop. The lady in the bookshop was absolutely lovely, and she had this little seating area that was like, it was almost like its own bookshop just for children's books. So definitely go there with your children, or if you're looking to buy some children's books, because it was just a huge collection, and I just sort of got lost in that bit. It had like little seating area, it had like soft toys, just like really lovely area. So definitely go check that out and find out about the reading challenge if you're I'd say it's probably like middle grade, like sort of age group that the book was aimed at, because it is a chapter book. And then you will need to obviously go check in at the bookshop and find out more details. But it sounds like a really good idea and a really nice thing to go and do. So that was that. I also entered some competitions. So in August, Lemonade had a competition where they were trying to encourage people to use their app more. So they were like, you post what you're getting up to and use our template. So it's a bit like a scrapbook, their template, so, or a magazine cover. So you like post up your picture, and then it like puts like this text and these little like elements on the picture, and you can move them around and edit them to your like. And they look really cool, and they were trying to get people to like, you know, and they gave like loads of ideas to give you, encourage people. Like you could post about like your favourite book review, you could post about what you've been up to in the summer holidays, you could post about this. Now I'm always a little bit guarded about trying not to post too much about my children online, and in the summer holidays I was spending a lot of time with my kids. So at first I sort of ignored the challenge, didn't get involved, and I thought, you know what, why not? So all you had to do was post at least 7 times a week to be entered in a draw to win £20 Amazon voucher. If you posted, I think it was 10 times a week, it went up to like £50 if you time. So the more you posted, the bigger the prize that you could win. So in the end I thought, you know what, I might as well just do it. So I posted up some pictures in the last week using the hashtag Lemonade Check-In, and I couldn't believe my luck at the start of September when I got a little notification to say that I had been picked to be one of the £20 winners. So what do I go spend my £20 on? I went on Amazon, and I was thinking like, shall I get a book that's been on my list? Shall I get a book of one of the author friends that I support and follow? But one of the books that just kept coming up on my feed was this Fourth Wing. You might have heard of it. I'll put a copy of it up here. And it's on Amazon. It was there as a hardback copy. I don't even know how they could sell a hardback for £10, because when you self-publish, you get to see how much it costs to produce these books. And the paper and all the production, I don't know how that's costing £10. They're obviously selling it very, very low, not making very much money, just to try and get their name out there. And it's working, because I have seen it all over the internet, and the book looks absolutely beautiful. So that is, I will go get it for you in a bit, but because Gracie just sat on my lap, I don't want to push her off and go and get it. So I probably should have been more prepared to show you. So yeah, so that's Fourth Wing. And then what was sort of sealed the deal, what sealed the deal for me was that the next book in the series, you could pre-order it and it's due to come out on my birthday. So I was like, oh, I have to get that. So I pre-ordered that, and I can't think what it's called, but I will obviously put it up here so that you can see what it's called or what it looks like. So that's coming out in November. So I'm looking forward to that. So it's like an early birthday present to myself. So thank you, Lemonade, for picking me as your winner so that I can treat myself to some nice new books, which I'm very excited to read. And they're about dragons, and that's about all I know about them. But they look pretty and I'm excited to read them and discover more. I've been told by some people it's a bit steamy, but I'm sure I can handle that. So we'll see. It looks like a big book, so I might put off starting it until the new year because there's so many other books that I want to get to and read before then, so that might have to wait. I mean, I'm still not even finished A Court of Mist and Fury. That book is taking me forever to read. But in the meantime, I have also been reading, I started it in August, I'm still reading it because I'm a slow reader. It's a big book. I'm ARC reading for my author friend April Grace, her new release that's coming out in October, so it should be out any day now. So it's marketed as a Snow White retelling, but to be honest, it has got so much more. I haven't quite finished it yet. I'm like right near the end. I'm about like I think 80%, so there's only a little bit left to go. But there's just so much more to it. So it's not like Snow White like you know before. It's very, I would say, very different. There is a stepmom, an evil stepmom. But there's just like these three main characters. So obviously Snow White, there is usually just one main character, but this has got three main characters. They're all linked together. All the characters got their own interesting thing. But I will obviously do a full review, going into more details when I finish reading it, and I'll do a book review video and probably a blog post, and I'll post a review online because it's ARC, and that's like sort of the condition when you read an ARC is that the author's giving you the ebook for free. Usually it's an ebook. Sometimes they do print books, like some of the big publishers will send out print books, but usually they send out an ebook for free in the hopes that you will read it, like it, and post a review. I mean, there's always this risk that someone will get an ARC, read it, and absolutely hate it and slate it online. But the idea is that you'll like it. And the reason that people do this, give these free books before their book's released, is because it builds confidence with the customer. I know I always check the reviews of other people. So like you have the blurb, I read it, but I always check the reviews because often they will like highlight things that aren't told in the blurb that tells you whether or not you will or won't like a book. So some people might say, oh, I love the world building, there was so much detail, and I know that I like to just get to the point. So that might be something that might put me off in a review, even if it's positive. And then sometimes you'll read a positive review and you'll end up thinking, oh my God, you might read a negative review and you'll read the person's reason why they didn't like it. And you're like, oh, I love books like that. I'm going to go check it out. So I always read the reviews because I find them really useful. They help me know what to expect from the book and decide when to read it, because sometimes that, like how a book will make me feel, influences whether or not I want to read it. So yeah, so reviews are really important, and I will obviously be posting one for April when I have finished it. But she already has got some reviews out already because it is due out soon. If you want to go check out what the first few people have thought of her book, definitely go check it out. What I've read so far is really, really good. I don't know how she packs so much in. I know it's a big word count, this one, but she does pack a lot of story into the book, and it's not fluff. I hate fluff. It's not fluff. It's a lot of story and a lot happens. It's good. I hope I'm going to be satisfied by the ending, but that's the bit I've still got to wait to find out, but I'm sure I will be. So then the other big thing that April should have like made me think, why have I not talked about that, because that was so awesome, is September was the month that I got to go to MK Lit Fest. I have got so much to tell you about that day. It was amazing. There was some very, very stressful things that has nothing to do with the event. So I recently got a new phone. So I've been needing a new phone for probably like 3 years. I keep putting it off, because it's like a lot of money, isn't it, to get a phone. So I've been putting it off. And I was like, no, I'm going to get one. So I finally got one. I got it all set up, jump in the car, go off there. I just couldn't, the sat nav just kept playing up. So I even took my old phone with me in case I was like some like like hadn't transferred over or something correctly. So finally I get the sat nav to work and I leave my house, and I'm like halfway there. I don't know, I couldn't even tell you where I was, but the sat nav turned itself off. So I was like, I have no idea where I'm going, because I've only been to Milton Keynes once before, and that was for MK Lit Fest, and I think it was maybe 2019 to 2020 when we had a tour of Ingram Sparks. It was awesome. But so this is like only my second time to go again, and so I pulled into a petrol station, fiddling around, and I managed to get like, it was sort of like working but not really working. So I managed to get the map up, but it wouldn't talk to me. So I was like, fine, if I can get there, that's fine. I'll get there and then I'll figure out what's going on with this phone. So I get to MK Lit Fest. I'm almost there, and I like pause to like work out if I need to turn into this road or not, because I have to like, I'm sure it's this one that I have to turn into, because I glanced at the map before and it was this one. So I just want to double check before I turn into some little road and then end up stuck or something. So I'm like trying to figure out what I want to do. So I've literally stopped. It's like a bit in the middle of the road where you can stop if you're turning, so you're like letting the other cars go behind. And this guy pulls up behind me and just honks his horn really, really loud. I was like really shook and really shaken. So I carried on to the next roundabout. Milton Keynes is full of roundabouts, so I knew there'd be a roundabout soon. So I carried on back to the roundabout, went round the roundabout, and then came back the other way to go down this road. And this guy, he decided to follow me, honking his horn all around the roundabout to this road, honking his horn before I turned down this road. I was just like, oh my God, what is it? I was actually got quite shaky, because I was like, oh my God, why is he coming after me? Like, what have I done to upset him? Like, I just couldn't get it. Anyway, he didn't follow me down the road, thankfully. And then I got to where the park was, Memphis Park, I think it was called. So I get to the park, and there's like a parking attendant guy there. He was so sweet. So he was like, you know, are you a visitor or are you one of the vendors? And like, one of the vendors, he's looking at his list, and like he couldn't find me at first. So I started panicking. I was like, oh my God, I'm still like all shaky because somebody was honking their horn and being a bit like scary down the road. And he was like, that's okay, you just pull over, you calm down, gather yourself, and I'll come back I'll come over in a moment, so you got a chance to calm down and find your email. So like I pull over and just like get my breath back, and I find the email, I show him the email, and he's like, that's fine if you just go in this car park here. So like I drive off down the road trying to figure out how to get in this car, but when I come back round, he's like laughing. He's like, it's literally go in here. It was like right next to where he was, where he was like, you can go in this car park here, but I thought I had to like drive down the road and enter it somewhere else. So yeah, anyway, he was such a sweetie. He just made me feel so much better, because I was already in a panic because I'd arrived late, because I had to drive slower because the sat nav was playing me up and I already was like rattled. And then the guy, so he was a really, really good first impression when I arrived at the festival. He just calmed me down, made me feel welcome, made me feel safe. He was absolutely lovely. So I get out of the car. He's like, directly, that's the way to the festival. So I walked through the main thing, and there was like these foods, like showing food from around the world. I can't remember, I think it was Iran where the food was from, but they had like this food store, like cultural thing. And then we went, and then the park was beautiful. It had like this big lake with swans, a little bridge, had this lovely play park for the children. I didn't take my kids with me because one, they're really naughty on car travels, and can you imagine that with the sat nav going? It would have been an absolute nightmare. So I'm glad I didn't take them. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was worried if they got bored, it would be a long day for them to try and stay entertained if they didn't want to be there. So then I went past these stores. There was like some reenactments, because it was also part of the Milton Keynes Heritage Day, and so they had like all these events going on, like for their history and stuff that was going on. It looked really good, but I was like keen to get to where I've got to be, because I already was like conscious that I was behind schedule when I wanted to arrive. So I hurried up to what was called the talk tent. So it was like this big marquee sort of tent thing, and in there was like a little stage, and all the chairs had been set out for all the people to listen to the talks that was done by the different authors that had been scheduled throughout the day. And right out the front was right where our store was. So I got there, and my friend Roxy Eloise and April Grace, who I've already spoken about earlier in this video because I'm arc reading her book at the moment, they were both there. They'd already started setting up their stands. They shuffled their things along a little bit so I could squeeze on the end. And then we got it all set up. And then, yeah, just had a really good day, because then like people would come up and chat to us, which was lovely. And then so we went in the talk tent at about 1 o'clock, because that's when we were scheduled to have our talk. And Flora, who had organised the event, she also organised all the volunteers who were just so lovely and welcoming the whole time. She organised for us to go in there, have our talk. So we had to read a part of our book to introduce ourselves, and then read a bit of our own stories. So I chose this bit from my book, and I thought it'd be really interesting because it kind of shows a bit of the magic side of things, and it also had a bit of the romance in it. And when I went to start reading it, I forgot that it had a swear word. Now, there isn't a lot of swear words in my book, but there is the odd one or two here. So they got to experience that, the audience did. Which kind of rattled me a little bit, because I'm already nervous, and then I do that and I think, oh, how are they going to receive that? But I just carried on reading. I got through it, and it went really well. Then we got to the interview part. I love the fact that I was sharing the space with April and Roxy, because it made it feel less intense. It wasn't all on me, and so I really appreciated that, and we kind of like all bounced off each other, so it made it a really interesting and engaging talk. I think the audience really enjoyed it. We had some positive feedback, which is really good. And then afterwards we had people come and buy our books. I sold Ocean Heart individually for £10, which is a really reduced price. And we also did a book bundle where all three of us were selling our first book in the series as a group bundle for £20. So that was a really good bargain. That was really popular. So we did that, which we also did last time. I was also giving away a lot of my bookmarks and my business cards, so that even if people were interested but didn't want to buy it on the day, they could take them away and maybe think about them later. And also, I don't like waste, but bookmarks are something that's always useful. And also, you can use a business card as a bookmark as well. I don't know if you're one of those people like me who always is looking for different ways to use different things for bookmarks, anything to hand. So I hope that they come in useful for the people who took them away. I hope that it helps them to remember me, and I hope that if they didn't buy Ocean Heart on the day, that they will check it out in future. Even go to their public libraries and ask them to order a copy in, because that's one way you can read Ocean Heart for free and still support me. So when I got home from the festival, I checked my stock. Also, I should note that the copies of Ocean Heart that was at MK Lit Fest is the new version, so it has the updated file in it. I am still in the process of updating the file everywhere. So Amazon was super easy to update the file. I just literally uploaded it. There it was done. But updating it to other sites wasn't as easy. Easy was Apple. I found Apple was easy. I just find it hard to get into their platform, but once I was in, I uploaded the file and all was good. Google Play, easy, upload the file, all was good. The ones I had problems with was Ingram Sparks. They wanted to charge me £50 if I update the file, so I put it off till last to do them. The other one was Smashwords. I thought that'd be easy, because last time it was really easy to upload my file and go. But they decided that the word Amazon is mentioned in my book. So it's at the very end, in the back matter, there's a bit that says like, oh, if you enjoyed my book, please do leave a review. It really helps on Goodreads or Amazon. It really does help. So what other retailers don't like, and I can understand this, is that I am, by mentioning Amazon, supporting Amazon, which is their competitor. So I just need to update my back matter to say any bookshop, something like that. So that's what I've got to do. So that's why that one's been flagged up and I can't get it there. So the ebook is still out there, the old version, because of that. And Ingram Sparks, finally, they sent through this this code for October saying that if you update your file in October, it's free. I don't know how true this is, because I still haven't got to that part of the system yet. So I go on the platform, I try to update my file on their system, and unfortunately it said that I had to update my prices. So not only have I have to update my prices recently, so I increased it from $9.99 to $12.99 recently, and I did the same on Amazon to make it the same so the booksellers wouldn't be disadvantaged. But then what happened was that now that they've got a deal with the booksellers that they will list them in their like premium catalogue or something, if you have increased your bookseller's discount to 55%. So this means that the bookseller gets 55% of the profit from the book. So like whatever, so you got your printing cost, the 55% cut for the bookseller, and then whatever the author gets on the end. So then I have to add up my price enough so that I'm not in negativity, so that once book's sold I'm not losing money, so that Ingram gets paid, the bookseller gets paid, and hopefully I will get something at the end. So I used to only get £1 per book, so I was trying to keep it similar to that. So I up all my prices, which I didn't really want to do because I feel that, you know, I always try to make things affordable for people, but I had to up my prices. So I upped my prices, and then they said that they wouldn't update them on their system until the 6th of October. So I had to keep on waiting, and I can't update my file until they've updated their prices. So I've got to wait till the 6th of October, which is actually today. So this evening, hopefully I can update the file, but we will find out later. Maybe I'll put a little note on the bottom of this video whether or not it worked or not when I edit. So that's where I'm at. So in September I was trying to update the file everywhere. The only place that was really, really straightforward was Amazon. I'll say Google Play was pretty straightforward. And even though Smashwords say that the others have got a problem with the word Amazon being mentioned in books, neither Apple or Google Play flagged it up and said they weren't happy. So I don't know if it's everybody who's got that. Yeah, so that's what's happening with the updating of the files. Once I got home from the book festival, I did a little stock take of where I was at. So I'm a bit low on books, but I don't make loads of sales all the time, so I've not rushed out to order anymore. On the school run though, afterwards I made a sale that one of the mums said what's the best way to buy the book? And I was like, the best way to buy the book is direct from me, because that's where I make the most money, and you'll get it at a better price than if you go anywhere else. And that is the truth, because it's cut out like the bookseller part, so and I just don't take as big a cut. So that is the truth. I try to give booksellers better discounts so they can lower their prices, but it's just a very difficult world economically at the moment, and they're all in competition. So yeah, best way to do it is, if you want to support me, is buy it from me directly. So if you see me at an event local to you, please do come and support me and buy my book from me there and then. But if not, do support any bookshop that is willing to order it in, because we don't want to lose bookshops on our high streets. And all the other way is, if you're not sure you can afford it, please go to your library and ask them to order it in, because then your whole community gets to benefit, because they'll order it in and everyone can borrow it and everyone can read it, and that's awesome too. And then the other thing was, I realised that I was low on bookmarks and business cards, because I pretty much handed them all out. So I've had to order some more. So they come like this, they're sort of like cellophane wrapped. There's the box I've already got out. Comes cellophane wrapped. It was like really tight, but obviously I took one box out. I'm happy with the bookmarks, how they've come out. Not as happy with how the business cards have come out. They're a little bit... you have to I'll show you what they look like. So yes, look, Gracie's interested. What is it? It's a business card. Look. Yeah, you can't eat that. It's not biscuit. No, it's my book. So that is Ocean Heart. That's my business card. So the previous ones, you couldn't see this line around the edge, so you have to put a bleed on, so when they cut it off, it doesn't have the thing, it doesn't cut part of the picture, because obviously I want the actual cover to show. But they've kind of cut it on the wonk. I don't think that was me, but I don't know. I'll still use them. And then the other side, they seem to have printed it upside down. I'm not sure why they've done that. But on the other side is the blurb for the book. So I was really pleased with these last time. I don't think they've come out as well this time. I'll have a look and see if it's my file or what's going on. But I also, whilst I was on there, I got a bit carried away, and I discovered that they do... No, Gracie, these are not biscuits either. No, you can't eat it. No. These ones are magnets. So on one side, it's plain black to stick on your fridge, and on the other side, it's an Ocean Heart book cover. So I've got one of them already sticking on my fridge. They're pretty cool. They're not very strong magnets though, but I guess that's what's to be decided. But if you love books, maybe it'd be quite cool to start collecting magnets on our fridges that actually look like the books that we read. So I think, because they do cost a little bit more than the normal business card, I will probably sell them on my Ko-fi shop. So do go check that out. And talking about checking out our coffee shop, there is a conversation I had with Roxy that I want to share with you. So I think April was involved in the earlier version of this conversation, but it's something that's been like chatted away between us for a little while. So when we were at Hertz Book Festival back in May, they got to meet my two author friends, Jodie and Cassidy, because they were both there as well. We were all staying at the same hotel, so that was awesome. And they had their stall like almost like on the opposite side to us, and what they were wearing was t-shirts with their like book names on it or their author names. I can't quite remember, but I remember thinking that is cool. That is like marketing. They're wearing their marketing. And one of the things that we always find really hard going to book festivals is what to wear. There's no dress code. There's no, this is what an author should look like. So you don't know what are people expecting. What do they want from you? Like what would be you want to be comfortable because you're going to be spending most of the day, you're going to be standing on your feet. When you go to these bookstores. When I did Felix at Book Festival, I was mostly sitting down, but a lot of these festivals you're standing up. Like you can take a chair with you, but if people coming up to speak to you, you need to be getting up to speak to them. So you spend a lot of time standing up, so you're approachable, you're available, people can come speak to you. So you need comfortable shoes. Then you want to look nice and tidy, and but you don't want to be too hot or too cold. And we're like, what do you wear? Like, what is expected? And one of the things we thought would be really cool is like Jodie and Cassidy's t-shirts. These were a brilliant idea because by wearing something that represents your brand, or you, because you are the brand, is that you're marketing without even needing to. People literally can look at you and know that's the author, or that person's there for that store to sell the books. That's what they're here for, and they know who you are, what you're doing. And it also encourages people to come talk to you because they know that they're talking to the right person and or about the right thing. And I think that's a really good way. And then it also could trigger people to ask questions like, oh, what's that t-shirt you're wearing or whatever. So after I did the whole bookmark thing, I got a little bit carried away and just went around looking around like what could I order. So one of my best friend's husbands, Mr. Cobbler, he makes t-shirts. So I was going to ask him, but I got a bit carried away and I went online and I found something called TeeMill. Now, TeeMill do print on demand clothing for like brands and influencers and charities and all sorts of things like that. And they have tried their best to make their brand as ethical as possible. So all the t-shirts are like are organic. So most of them are made from 50% recycled organic materials and 50% new organic materials. And they make the t-shirts, and this is a material that is easy to recycle, so there's less waste. So a lot of clothing that we buy these days can't be recycled, so they just are landfill. They're not very good for the environment. So they do that. So when you finish wearing your t-shirt, you send it back to them. They can then mosh it down and turn it into a new t-shirt, which is, I just think that is awesome. I love things like that. And if you remember like some of my very earliest content online, it was all about like organic beauty and makeup as well as writing, because that was something I was really passionate about. But I've just come away from that because I felt that most people that follow me were interested in the books I'm writing. But I do still love my organic and green and cruelty-free makeup. That's something that if I know brands do trying their best to be good, it does get my interest. It's something I do like. So the other thing is that because it's print on demand, that reduces waste because they're only printing what is demanded. Whereas a lot of these stores with very cheap stuff, they will mass produce stuff. They're using like sweat markets and child labour and all this stuff. And by supporting those brands, you actually are supporting those unethical things. So it is hard because everything's so expensive, trying to find what you can afford and within your values. All the products are created in the UK in a factory in the UK, so we're also supporting our own economy by printing there and getting the products created there, and it's good for the environment. And they also power the factory with green energy. So I went on there and I decided to design a red Fae t-shirt or something that I could wear to events, or something with ocean heart on it or sky heart to promote my books. And within 24 hours I got carried away and I created a whole clothing line. I'm on the free account, so that's the other thing I was going to mention. So the free account limits me to only have 30 designs, so I've got 30 products, and each product I can only have 3 colours. Now if I was to go pro, where there's a monthly fee, then you can have more designs and more there's more products, more colour options, like more stuff. So I just started with the free one to play around, see how I get on. might just be for myself. I'm going to order some bits, so because that's the whole point of it, was I got it so that I could have some things to wear with my stuff on it. So I'm looking forward to ordering that soon. I'm just like trying to make sure I've got the money sorted in the bank before I do it. So I'm looking forward to that. It is available for you to go buy now. I put one of my favourite ones onto Ko-fi so people can see what they look like. So there's like in Sky Heart, my book designer, she created this scythe that's like going to be on the title page and looks so cool. So I put it on a t-shirt. It looks awesome. And it says Sky Heart on it. It looks really good. You should go check it out for definite and see if there's anything there that you like. There's hoodies, which will be great for the winter months coming up. There's also some mugs and some bags as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting myself my own branded hoodie that I can wear to events and stuff in future, and a t-shirt. And then I'll take some pictures so you can see what they really look like. And that brings me on to the other thing. So, you can see what they really look like, but I've also created some mocks, and to create the mocks I used AI in Canva, and I've always loved Canva. I started off using Canva for free, so anyone can go use Canva for free, and it's got so many templates, elements, and just everything you need to create great content for online. It's like Instagram messages, you can make reels, videos, all sorts of stuff. It's really good. And then I eventually went to Pro, so I got a paid account because I just loved it so much. I was using it all the time, and it was taking me a lot of time to make sure I only was using the free stuff, because you can use the paid content on the free app, but when you go to download it, it will like say, oh, do you want to pay like 50p for this or that? So I was trying really hard not to do that. So then in the end I was like, I'm just going to get Pro. I'm using it all the time, then I don't have to worry about looking for just free stuff. I can just use anything. And it has been brilliant. So there's music, videos, all sorts of stuff you can use in your designs. And now they've got all these AI apps, and I used one to create a mock-up of what the t-shirt would look like if somebody was to buy it and wear it, and it looked so cool. And I also did a hoodie as well. And oh yes, that was the other thing. And on Canva they also have this AI app called text to image. So I'm not saying that AI should replace creatives, because as a creative myself writing novels, I don't want AI to take over the novel writing industry. I don't think AI will ever get it 100% right. There'll always be like, yeah, just not right. I mean, there was this advert where you could get AI to read your novel, and I've always wanted my novels to be audio, so I did have a look at it, see how it was, but it just sounded a little bit robotic. I think it would work for if you were maybe doing a factual book, but I think for that real authentic feel, you need a real person narrating the book. And I do have a narrator who I would love to be able to pay one day, so she's on my radar. The same with like character art. There's an artist I've had in mind for a little while that's on my radar, so if I ever get to that point, maybe I'll reach out to them and get them to do it if they're still doing the sort of art that I like. I mean, artists can change their style all the time. They also evolve and get better. They get more expensive when they get better too. So yes, that's something that was happening. But oh yeah, back to AI, text to image. So for fun, I thought it would be cool to make new book covers for Summer Heart and Night Heart. So Night Heart used to have a different name on Summer Heart had a different name on my website. So it used to be called New Moon, I think. But yeah, I've changed it. It's now Summer Heart. And the other one is called Dark Heart. Did I say Night Heart before? I've played around with the two. I think I'm going towards Dark Heart. So anyway, I told AI about the story and the characters, and I said, can you make an image for this, for like a book cover? And it generated the AI image. It looks so cool. Some of the images that came up for Anna, who was going to be in the novel Dark Heart, were just awesome. So it was like this girl with these snakes everywhere. It looked brilliant. And the one for Summer Heart, it was like this girl on the beach. I mean, there's certain things that weren't right. So the girl on the beach doing the magic, she's got like extra fingers and her hair's a little bit longer. But the covers look really cool, and I'm really pleased with them. I've now updated my website, so they've got that on there. So yeah, I think it feels sometimes like September just flew by and I didn't have time to do anything. I think it's because my main goal was to update the Ocean Heart file and that didn't happen. But when I look back at it, I realised that I actually achieved a lot in September. I did a book festival. I networked with a bookshop who said that they will stock my book, which is awesome. I ordered more stock. I created a whole clothing line. I created new book covers they're just my work in progress. So they're just like, so I can talk about my books online and have a visual. But yeah, I think I actually did do quite a lot. And there's also been some reading and new books bought. So yeah, September has been a good month for my writing. So I hope that October will be too. So